Alright, so let's talk about something that pretty much everyone goes through. And honestly, a lot of people find incredibly stressful. The job hunt. You're scrolling through endless listings, tweaking your resume for the 100th time, and maybe even sending applications into what feels like a black hole. It can be demoralizing, I get it. You start wondering if you're doing something wrong, or if the market is just impossible. But here's the thing, a lot of the frustration comes from not having a clear strategy, or maybe just not understanding how to make each part of the process work you, instead of against you. The good news is, navigating the job application process effectively isn't some secret code known only to a select few. It's about understanding the game, knowing the rules, and then playing it smart. Think of it like investing. You wouldn't just throw your money at random stocks, right? You do your research, understand the fundamentals. The same applies here. Knowing each step from crafting that initial resume to nailing the follow-up is absolutely crucial if you want to seriously boost your chances of landing that role you're aiming for. It's about being methodical and intentional. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how you can master this entire job hunt. We're going to go through everything step by step, from making your resume impossible to ignore, to writing cover letters that actually get read, understanding the power of networking, and how to do it without feeling awkward, absolutely crushing those interviews, and then the often overlooked art of the follow-up. My goal here is to give you actionable tips and tricks that you can implement immediately to see a real difference in your job search. No fluff, just what works. Okay, let's dive straight into the first hurdle, and honestly, where a lot of people stumble right out of the gate, your resume. Now, I see so many people make the mistake of creating one generic resume and then just carpet bombing every job posting they find with it. Let me tell you, that is one of the fastest ways to get your application ignored. Think about it from the hiring manager's perspective. They're sifting through potentially hundreds of resumes. They're looking for specific keywords, specific experiences, and specific skills that match specific job opening. A generic resume just screams, I didn't really care enough to read the job description properly. It's a numbers game, yes, but quality trumps quantity here. Every single time, you need to treat each application like it's the only one. So, what's the secret sauce? Tailoring every single time. Yes, it takes more effort, there's no denying that. But the return on that effort is massive. You need to dissect that job description like you're studying for a final exam. What are the key responsibilities? What skills are they emphasizing? What kind of language are they using? Then you go back to your master resume, and you should have a master document with your experiences and skills, and you tweak it. You rephrase bullet points to mirror the language in the job ad. You highlight the experiences that are most relevant to a specific role, and maybe you downplay or even remove things that are completely irrelevant. Your goal is to make it glaringly obvious to the recruiter within about 6 seconds that you are a fantastic fit for what they're looking for. And don't just stop at keywords. Think about the impact you made in your previous roles. Instead of just saying manage social media, try something like increased social media engagement by 30% in 6 months by implementing a new content strategy. Quantify your achievements whenever possible. Numbers speak volumes. Also, make sure it's ATS friendly. That's the applicant tracking system. These are the robots that often scan your resume before a human even sees it. Use standard fonts, clear headings, and avoid fancy graphics or tables that can confuse the software. Keep it clean, keep it targeted, and keep it focused on the value you bring. This isn't just about listing your past, it's about selling your future potential to that employer. Alright, next up, the cover letter. I know. A lot of people groan when they hear a cover letter. Some even wonder if anyone actually reads them anymore. And here's the truth, a cover letter, a generic one that just rehashes your resume, probably won't get much attention. But a cover letter? That can be your absolute secret weapon. It's your chance to inject some personality, to tell a story, and to connect the dots for the hiring manager in a way that your resume by its very nature just can't. It's your opportunity to show them you're interested, not just that you do the job. This is where you can truly stand out from the crowd of applicants who just hit submit with the bare minimum. So, how do you write one that actually gets read and makes an impact? First things first, ditch the generic to whom it may concern. Do a little digging. Try to find the hiring manager's name on LinkedIn or the company website. Addressing it to a specific person makes an immediate difference. then your opening paragraph needs to be a hook. Don't just say, I am writing to apply for the X position. Boring. Start with your enthusiasm for the company, a key achievement that aligns perfectly with the role, or something specific about their mission that resonates with you. You want to grab their attention right away and make them to keep reading. This is your prime real estate to make a strong first impression. The body of your cover letter is where you elaborate on 2 or 3 key qualifications or experiences from your resume, but you do it with context and passion. Don't just repeat bullet points. Explain your experience directly relates to the challenges or needs outlined in the job description. Show, don't just tell. Maybe share a brief anecdote about a problem you solved or a project you led that demonstrates the skills they're looking for. And always tailor it to the company and the specific role. Mention something specific about their recent work, their values, or their industry position that attracts you. Finally, end with a strong closing, reaffirming your interest and including a clear call to action, like stating your eagerness to discuss your qualifications further in an interview. It's about showing genuine interest and effort. Now, let's talk about something that can feel a bit intimidating for some, but is an absolute game changer in the job hunt networking. You've probably heard the saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And while skills and experience are obviously critical, there's a massive amount of truth to that. Many jobs, especially the really good ones, are filled through referrals or internal connections before they even hit the public job boards. If you're solely relying on online applications, you're missing out on a huge hidden job market. Networking isn't just about schmoozing at events, it's about building genuine, mutually beneficial professional relationships. It's about creating a web of contacts who can offer advice, insights, and yes, even job leads. The thought of networking can conjure up images of awkward conversations and forced smiles, but it doesn't have to be that way. Start with people you already know, former colleagues, classmates, professors, even friends and family. Let them know you're looking and what kind of roles you're interested in. You'd be surprised how willing people are to help if they can. LinkedIn is an incredibly powerful tool here. Connect with people in your industry, join relevant groups, and don't be afraid to reach out for informational interviews. The key is to approach it not as what can you do for me, but as I'm interested in learning from your experience. People generally like to talk about themselves and offer advice. Building these connections takes time and consistent effort. It's not about collecting 100 LinkedIn connections you never interact with. It's about quality over quantity. Engage with their posts, offer help if you can, share relevant articles. When you do ask for something, like an introduction or information about a company, be specific and respectful of their time. And always follow up with a thank you. Think of networking as planting seeds. You nurture these relationships and over time, they can grow into opportunities you never would have found otherwise. It really is an investment in your career. And the returns can be phenomenal, often leading to opportunities that are a much better fit than what you might find just by browsing job ads. Alright, you've tailored your resume, your cover letter was a masterpiece, your networking paid off, and boom, you've landed the interview. This is where the rubber meets the road. Preparation is absolutely everything. Walking into an interview unprepared is like trying to win a race without training. You might get lucky, but the odds are seriously stacked against you. You need to treat interview preparation with the seriousness it deserves, because this is your prime opportunity to sell yourself directly to the decision makers. It's your chance to bring your resume to life and show them not just what you've done, but who you are and how you'd fit into their team. Don't leave this to chance. So, what does thorough preparation look like? First, research the company inside and out. Understand their mission, their products or services, their competitors, their recent news, and their company culture. Go beyond just their About Us page. Look for articles, press releases, and even employee reviews on sites like Glassdoor. The more you know, the more you can tailor your answers and ask intelligent questions. Next, dissect the job description again. Be ready to provide specific examples from your past experience that align with every single requirement and responsibility listed. Think STAR method: situation, task, action, result, for structuring your answers to behavioral questions. This framework helps you provide clear, concise, and impactful stories. And then, of course, you need to practice answering common interview questions. Tell me about yourself. Why are you interested in this role? What are your strengths and weaknesses? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Don't just think about the answers in your head. Say them out loud. Practice with a friend, in front of a mirror, or even record yourself. This helps you refine your delivery, manage your nerves, and ensure your answers are coherent. Also, prepare at least 3 to 5 insightful questions to ask the interviewer at the end. This shows your engagement and genuine interest. Questions like, what does success look like in this role within the first 90 days? Or can you describe the team dynamics? Can be very effective. Remember, an interview is a two-way street. Okay, so you've made it through the interview. You answered all their questions, you asked some great questions of your own, and you walked out feeling pretty good. But it's not over yet. So many people drop the ball at this stage, and it's a critical one, the follow-up. Sending a well-crafted thank you note or email after an interview is not just a courtesy. It's a strategic move that can significantly reinforce your candidacy and leave a lasting positive impression. It shows professionalism, attention to detail, and genuine continued interest in the role. In a competitive job market, this small effort can sometimes be the tiebreaker between you and another equally qualified candidate. Don't underestimate its power. The key here is promptness and personalization. You should aim to send your thank you note within 24 hours of the interview. An email is perfectly acceptable and often preferred for speed. If you interviewed with multiple people, send a separate, personalized note to each one. Generic copy-pasted thank yous won't cut it. In your note, reiterate your thanks for their time and briefly mention something specific you discussed that resonated with you or a key point about the role that excites you. This shows you were actively listening and engaged during the conversation. It's also an opportunity to briefly touch upon any point you feel you didn't articulate as well as you could have during the interview, or to add a small relevant piece of information you forgot to mention. But don't just stop at the thank you note if the hiring timeline is a bit longer. If they gave you a time frame for their decision and that date passes, a polite follow-up email inquiring about the status of the position is perfectly acceptable. Keep it brief, professional, and reiterate your enthusiasm. This shows you're still interested and proactive, without being pushy or annoying. The follow-up process is all about maintaining positive engagement and keeping your name top of mind. It demonstrates your commitment and can make a real difference in the final decision. It's the final polish on your application, showing you're serious and thorough right to the very end. So there you have it, a complete roadmap to navigating the often choppy waters of the job application process. We've covered the absolute necessity of tailoring your resume for every single role, because generic just doesn't cut it anymore. We talked about crafting compelling cover letters that go beyond just listing facts and actually tell your story and show your personality. We delved into the power of networking, building those crucial connections that can open doors you didn't even know existed. And of course, we covered how to meticulously prepare for job interviews so you can walk in with confidence, and the often overlooked but incredibly important step of following up effectively to leave that lasting positive impression. Each of these steps, from that initial resume tweak to the final thank you note, plays a vital role in maximizing your chances of success. It's about being strategic, being prepared, and being persistent. The job market can be tough, there's no doubt about it, but by implementing these strategies, you're not just passively waiting for opportunities, you're actively creating them. You're putting yourself in the best possible position to stand out from the competition and land a role that truly excites you and aligns with your career goals. It takes effort, yes, but the payoff securing that dream job is absolutely worth it. I really encourage you to take these tips and tricks and start applying them to your job search today. Don't just watch this video and forget about it. Implement one new strategy this week. Maybe it's revamping your master resume, or reaching out to 3 new contacts on LinkedIn, or practicing your interview answers. Small, consistent actions will lead to big results. You've got this. If you found this helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this, and maybe even share it with someone else who's on their job hunt journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.